Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I was gonna recap a story that happened a long time ago. Um, when I was talking about Walmart discounted items when I did that cookie pop chocolate chip popcorn video. But definitely check that video out and see how I thought of that. And I was talking about how they used to have, like, right next to the bulk food department, they used to have a discounted food department, with like foods that just didn't sell. They weren't expired, they just weren't selling. They need to clear the shelves for other stuff. Walmart's always like bringing in new and different items and replacing different items and discontinuing items. At least my Walmart it does. And they had that, and then they started bringing like these big things, shelves out, usually on the weekend, and then they have those out, and then towards the end, right past the frozen food section, they have like a big shelf with different items of chips and snacks and stuff to then. So a whole bunch of different items, mixers, tonic water, some apple cider, cookies and candy and stuff like that. A whole bunch of different items, and so that made me think about something I have a long time. I mentioned it in my meta health bar video back in 2015. And what this video is three stories, count three, of ignorance and greed, where people just surprised me. Even though, it's easier. Well, I don't know. In today's society, a lot of times you see a lot of good in people and you see a lot of bad. Now, these are stories for a lot of bad I see in people. At least three different people. Well, anyways, the first story of ignorance and greed was, like I said, I was talking about the discounted food. And in that first section, they had like that wheeled out thing of stuff, including the mental health bars. And I saw they had the mental health bars for a nickel a piece. They're usually like, I don't know, 75 cents a dollar. They were a nickel a piece. I couldn't believe it. And they were not expired. They were a nickel a piece, and my niece Taylor and Steve were there, and Taylor was right there. Hey, Taylor, these things are only a nickel a piece. Can you believe that? And then some lady went right in front of me with a big giant claw and grabbed like a whole handful and put them in her thing. One of the most ignorant things right in front of me. She just went rah, like that and put them in her cart. That was ignorant. Like, I just looked at her. She just walked right away. I should have said something, but I mean, it's like I was kind of shocked. That was very ignorant. The next story, now I was kind of shocked about it. I think my niece was too. She's like, what's wrong with people? You tell me. And the next story was way back 2000 something. My dad and I went back when Dad was still alive. Way back when he was still alive. Every time we go to in Meadville and do stuff, and they had a Save-A-Lot and an Aldi's in Meadville. Sometimes we go there to shop. And the Save-A-Lot in Meadville, I remember we were in line, and there was this Amish lady there that had a whole bunch of food, and she was trying to cash this check. And it was only like one or two lines. We were like kind of trapped. There was like, she was there like one or two people in front of us, and then me and my dad, and a whole crap load of people behind us. So we were kind of like trapped in there. And they didn't have any, as usual, they didn't have any other lines open, and the other lines were all full. She was trying to get this check cashed. And she said, and the guy said, you need an ID. And she was arguing with him back and forth, and this went on for at least 10 minutes, 13, 14 minutes, and she said, they called the manager over. She was arguing, fighting with them, and about she wanted that thing. And she said you need to have a proper ID, or else you have to pay in cash. Well, I don't have any cash. I don't have any cash. You need proper. And after like 13 minutes, okay, I'll pay in cash. She went in her pocket. She pulled out a giant wad of bills, and everybody in the line gasped and were shaking their head and were really pissed off. They were really angry at this woman. That was ignorant. She was like, I have to get this check. And she said, no, paying cash. You don't have an ID. They won't cash your check or use her pay for their check. She put a giant wad of cash. I couldn't believe that. It's truly ignorant people. And the third story was about this one place called Caffin's Place. I mentioned in the worst customer service I ever had, and this is true. That place shut down as reopened as Roadhouse. Something I can't remember. Roadhouse. And I have a big history to that place. I got to do a video about it. Whenever I do a review from there, I definitely include my history at the end of the video. It's a giant story. I just went through so many different owners, but I mean, Caffin's Place. For the very first time, Caffin's Place kind of drove it into the ground. And when it closed down, it was closed for a long time. Like 4 or 5 years almost. And I remember my friend Ryan Platts, I said, well, they got the other place. I haven't been there in a long time in Caffin's Place. And he said, I went there once and the waitress was a total bitch to us. And I thought about that. And about a couple months later, I said, well, what's the chance of that happening to me and my dad? Famous last words. And it turned out it was the owner's wife. She was a real bitch. And I can't say her name. Someone said her name. I can't remember if how horrible she was, because I mentioned it in a Facebook group when that place reopened again. And they said, like, she was a horrible, horrible person. I guess they closed because they got a divorce. They were fighting or something like that. But, I mean, they drove that place in the ground. They used to have, like, a big horseshoe tournament there. I think it was Bruising Shoes or something like that. And then they ended up losing that and went someplace else because I guess they probably couldn't deal with that lady. What happened was, the only time we went there, I checked the new menu, and they didn't keep any of the old classic items that Johnny had originally. But they had the sausage. They still had the sausage and cheese sandwich. That was the classic my dad used to get. I think I got it too. And they saw Cajun fries, and I got Cajun fries. And my dad got Cajun fries too. When he started eating them, he said, man, these are too salty. And he asked the lady to come over, and he asked her if he could have another order of fries. Instead, these are too salty. She said, sure. And I said, I thought they were fine. I just put some, I liked them. I just put some malt vinegar on them. I thought they were fine. Well, anyway, no problems yet. And then when it came for the bill, my dad was charged for the Cajun fries and the other order of fries. And he said, my dad didn't want that order of fries. He didn't like it. He asked for another order. And he said, well, you said it was okay, so I'm going to charge you for both orders. No, you will not. No, you will not. I'm not paying for those. And then finally, after about 5 minutes, she took that one order off. I was very upset. She was mad. I mean, I tried. I remember when they went out of business, I talked to this one guy at work. I said, boy, that one lady's a horrible person. Well, I said worse than that, but I got to be clean up for YouTube. And he said, well, I'm friends with those people. You must be a little bit, she was awful. That was the worst customer service I ever had, I'm pretty sure. There are a couple other stories. But it was pretty bad. That brings up some other stories of ignorant people and stuff. But I mean, those are 3 stories of ignorance and greed. The worst in people. So I hope you like this video, everybody. Until next time, please take care of my legion. Show you how bad people are. There's lots of good in people, but the other flip side of the coin, there's lots of bad. And this is a story about the bad. So I hope you like the story and take care, everyone.